I have always said why we cover Conservative Home. It is the place for, well, Conservatives to come and gather to share and spread their news. And there was a time not too long ago, which again, partly why the reason I follow it, because you get to follow the stream, the wild rapids that has been the crazy ride the Conservatives have been on for the past couple of years. And indeed, there was a time, there was a time not too long ago where Conservative Home looked upon Nadine Dorries and saw her as someone who was a good MP. I know, shocking as that may be, but they looked upon her as someone who was good, who could be an advocate for the Conservative Party. How the worm has now changed, because and even then, I don't think they can really answer this question, as we'll get into a moment. But I saw this immediately, and the question is put here by Henry Hill is: the House of Commons has the power to simply expel Dorries. Should it? Nadine Dorries has abdicated her job, as he explains in this article. She has abdicated her job as an MP completely and utterly, to the point where we have so far had 2 town councils write to her and publicly state, please go, because you are not providing your constituents with any form of representation. This is not a simple answer of should it, it's yes, it should. And he talks about some of the old arcane rules that have gone through in recent years, of or at least back in the past, dating back to the 1800s, as Chris Brandt is going to try and do in September. And still there are rumors afoot that she might either quit herself in September or someone will force her out. But I'll tell you this now, at this moment in time, it has been 2 months. It has been 2 months since she said, I'm going to quit with immediate effect, and then presumed not to quit, but still draw her MP salary and not provide the people of Mid Bedfordshire with any form of representation. This is not a should they do it, should they not? No, it's they should. And the very fact that you have Chris Brandt going out actively and saying, yeah, I'm going to find any way I can to get rid of her because she's not doing her job, that's what Rishi Sunak should be doing. And at no point, bear in mind, at no point does Henry Hill here in his piece ask one question: why has Sunak not acted? Why has he not done anything to get rid of her? When he came in on his big debut speech in front of the, I think it was CCHQ steps, said, this is going to be a new age. We are going to bring back normalcy. We're going to restore some order. We're going to restore the honor and integrity of this party. No more rule breakers, no more nonsense. Well, the biggest peddler currently of nonsense in his own party, may I add, because he's not just the Prime Minister, he is leader of the Conservative Party, has done nothing to get rid of her. And I think this goes to show you the sheer contempt that certainly Rishi Sunak has for the general public. And if you want this guy to be Prime Minister, well, there are some serious questions as to why you would want him to continue on for another 4 years of God knows what kind of bizarre, weird, economical, crazy stuff that he would pursue on. And we've already talked about the only thing really Rishi Sunak has done is to essentially take the seatbelt off the UK economy. And those were the Edinburgh reforms put in place to protect the UK economy from things like the 2008 financial crash happening again. And yet, Rishi Sunak has removed the seatbelts from the car and is driving that car. And as we've said before, the car analogy is perfect to describe it. No matter how safe a driver you are, at some point sooner or later, you are going to get involved in an accident or a crash, whether it's his own fault or, as was in the case of 2008, you had the massive bubble burst in America, which was basically, to continue with the car analogy, of America smashing into the back and causing a multi-car pileup of many economies, none at least the UK. And if something like that were to happen again and there's no seatbelts in the car, well, your chances of safety and survival decrease dramatically. And bear in mind, that's the only real thing Sunak has actually done in his time in office. That's it. Except hide under a desk, cross his fingers, and just hope for the best. This is not a government. It has no vision, it has no policies, and yet Sunak's main pledge of restoring trust, honor, and integrity in politicians, he could get rid of Nadine Dorries. I'm not going to lie. If Sunak actually went out and got rid of Nadine Dorries, tell you what, credit to him, because she deserves to be gotten rid of at this point. No one would question that. But it just goes to show you what a weak leader he is, unable to get rid of someone in his own party who he could get rid of very easily by putting pressure on her, telling her to go. He could do all sorts of stuff to force her out. But of course he doesn't want to. Because if that happened, well, then we might have to have a by-election, and that by-election is potentially one that Labour might win. Can't have that now, can we? But bizarrely, and even Henry Hill actually says this, if Sunak actually acted on that, or, did something to get rid of her, because, again, Sunak is the primary guy who could get rid of her, and he never mentions that at all, but except for this one part that, oh, well, Sunak might act, and, the voters of Mid-Bedfordshire might be grateful of that fact, might maybe reward the Conservatives in that regard. Yeah, they might do. But he's not doing it. He's not doing anything at all. As we always say, this is Rishi Sunak, the do-nothing Prime Minister in his prime. And even shockingly, Conservative Home cannot write an article saying, yeah, we should get rid of Nadine Dorries. She's useless. She's damaging the Conservative brand. She's damaging to the Conservative Party as a whole. It represents a really bad fact in our saga, something that Rishi Sunak had said the Conservative Party had turned a page on, and yet he still keeps Nadine Dorries. And thus, Conservatives can't even clean up their own house. Good luck in a general election, Rishi. Good luck indeed. So, as always, thank you very much for watching. Please do remember to click on the like, share, and subscribe button. Like I say, there are links down below to help support the channel, the Patreon page, the one-off donation link called Buy Me Coffee, the YouTube thank you button, and of course, the Pony Club as well. So, as always, until then, we'll see you all next time.